Happy Thursday. Hope you're all having a great week. Keith Tebow from FRCMedia. It's time for our weekly Thursday conversation with the mayor of the city of Fall River, Mayor Paul Coogan. Mayor, how are you today?
I'm doing fine, Keith. How about you?
I'm doing well. Let's get right into it with some COVID information. Obviously, not a good day again yesterday in terms of the COVID numbers. We've talked about that ad nauseum. But what I want to talk a little bit about today is Governor Baker yesterday announced sort of a timeline and a schedule in terms of a vaccine. Some first doses of the vaccine may actually come in as early as next week. Um, where does Fall River stand in terms of working with the state and getting those vaccine supplies here locally? What's distribution look like here in Fall River?
Well, in the building, for example, down in the Department of Public Health, I was down there last week, and they have freezers that they were testing the temperatures on to make sure they would comply with the vaccine if it comes into the building. I talked with the fire department, EMS, which is now doing our testing, and they believe they're ready to go. I'm not sure if it's going to be our local pharmacy companies like CVS and Walgreens that also get the first doses, but from what I've seen, I gotta believe we'll be ready to go when the vaccine gets here.
Now, there's also talk that obviously first responders, those in the healthcare field that are dealing and handling COVID patients will get this first. As far as you know, are our hospitals ready for the vaccines? And are you hearing that they may get those first initial doses for their personnel?
Right. I gotta believe they are ready. We've been waiting for this for a long time. So if I've never heard anything on the morning calls, we still do the calls with the hospitals that they were not prepared for vaccine distribution. So I think when the vaccine gets here, we will be off and running quickly.
And I think people still have to remain patient, as the governor said that the state's only expecting for the month of December about 300,000 vaccines that have to obviously go across the entire Commonwealth. And there are 2 doses involved for many of these. So people have to remain patient. And I'm sure, people are excited about it and anticipating it, but we have to wait with what we're doing. In terms of the other news this week, the governor noted that beginning on Sunday, it will be as a state rolling back to phase 3, step 1. Actually, in the city of Fall River, we've been in that case for quite a while since we've been in that red category for a few weeks. So this really shouldn't impact anything that people have been experiencing here in Fall River in the last few weeks, correct?
Yeah, it really shouldn't. I believe we're going to go to appointments in government center just to try to minimize the crowd while we're still giving people the services they need. But other than that, maybe a little bit of some changes and some tweaks to our restaurants. I think that'll be the extent of it. We're going to have a meeting later today to talk about what specifically we'd like to do. We're also trying to really stress the fact that the decisions people are making now personally are what's driving the disease. If people would just be conscientious for the next couple of weeks with their personal decisions, whether it's ordinarily you go out with a group of your friends or you go bombing in to see somebody and you don't have a mask on, put the mask on. We're talking a few weeks here. We're in a real surge. I was reading an article this morning that they called it a viral tsunami. I think we're past case counting now, and we're really, really going off the charts as a country. I look at the CDC state-by-state graphs, and every state is grappling with this right now. And Massachusetts is right in the middle of the pack at about number 30. But our neighboring state, Rhode Island, is almost one of the top states in the country. But people have to take it serious. They have to be careful. They have to change their own behavior. The government can't follow them around and monitor everything they do. And we were talking about masks last week. You can't fine everybody that's not wearing a mask and think it's going to change someone's behavior. It just doesn't work that way. We've been fining people for hundreds of years for speeding in a car, I think, for 100 years, and they still speed. So we're asking people to step up and help us get through the next month here. It's going to be very, very trying as we roll from our Thanksgiving numbers to our Christmas numbers to our New Year's numbers. And unless people radically alter the way they carry themselves, we're going to be in this tsunami for a little while here.
I want to shift a little bit to schools. This was the first week this week that By and large, most students in the Fall River Public Schools are now fully remote. Have you heard any hiccups at all in terms of that transition, or has it gone smoothly?
No, I believe it went pretty smoothly. We're actually working with the learning pods right now to find alternative sites for people that need support during the day for the kids that are out of school. We actually toured a school down the north end yesterday that's been vacant for a little while that we may rent some rooms in there depending on what demand looks like. But we've gone to the Family Association, we've gone to the Boys and Girls Club, we've gone to the YMCA, and we're checking these spots out and making sure that the kids are getting what they need, the ones that are in there. And we're just going to keep soldiering along now, at least till we get through Christmas.
Any indication on when the school department may decide about what may happen when school comes back in January? Because, people may not be focusing as much on things during the holidays and they may need to prepare.
Yeah, I think that they're going to make that decision. We have another school committee meeting coming up. I think that'll be made over what would be traditionally the Christmas break. I think they'll monitor the numbers. They'll look at what they have for staff, illnesses, and what's in the buildings, or how many young students have it. I think they'll compile all those numbers and make the decision based on some data.
All right. Shifting gears, last week, the state legislature finally passed a fiscal 2021 budget. Still is awaiting a decision from Governor Baker. And speaking with Senator Mike Rodrigues this week, it seems like that the city is faring fairly well in terms of its allocation, in terms of school money and general local aid, something that has been talked about in the past. Is there anything else that you may have seen in there that may be of benefit to Fall River?
Yeah, we got a little bump in one of the aids to the tune of about $100,000. But again, it could have been a very, very bad year because of COVID did to the entire economy. But I think we're going to get out of this okay this year. I'm a little worried about next year, but I'm hoping that with the new president, that federal aid comes through and balances us off in 22. But I'm very, very appreciative of the work of Senator Rodrigues and State Representative delegation of Viola Schmidt and Alan Sylvia. They call me. They regularly ask for input. What are we looking for? And they make sure they have Fall River's concerns front and center when they're in Boston. Looking to see where the money's going to go. Fall River does very well because of that group.
Every week, I appreciate your time with us here, Mayor. But yesterday, you launched a monthly newsletter that people can get via their email boxes. It's called Coogan's Corner. And I remember, we had worked on a TV show named Coogan's Corner. If we remember, back earlier in the year, we actually recorded 2 episodes, and hopefully we'll be able to bring that back, or maybe even under a different name once COVID is over. But talk about the newsletter and how people can gain access to it.
Well, it's obviously going to be on the city website, and it's on my Facebook pages, and we emailed it out to a list of our people that are asking how we're doing with the government. If you want to get on that list, just send us an email, and we'll put you in the mix. What we did with that newsletter was we get so preoccupied with COVID that we literally listed 50 things we've been working on or have worked on in the middle of COVID, through the shutdown, through the opening, almost till Christmas. And it kind of looks, you look at the list and, people think, oh, look at this. He's trying to self-promote. We're really not self-promoting. I look at that list as a list of things that make Fall River a better place to live. I think those are things we've worked on that we think can have a positive impact on the community. And we just want people to know that we're out there grinding, trying to get stuff done. We want Fall River to succeed, but we also have to battle COVID every day, so it sometimes gets a little distracting. But the newsletter gives them a heads up on where we are, some things that have gone on. It's not everything we've done, obviously. It's a heck of a lot more than 50 items, but we wanted to highlight some things that we thought were positive for the community. So we put it in a newsletter with a few pictures and help people enjoy it.
All right. And finally, plans are still moving ahead for the Santa's Jolly Ride motorcade this weekend, although there may be a little bit of weather issues on Saturday. What are the plans in terms of maybe shifting the day from Saturday to Sunday, and when will that be made?
It'll probably be made later today. We don't want people out there in soaking rain. Initially, we thought we were going to get through it okay because it seemed like the weather was rolling in a little bit later on Saturday, but now it looks like it's all the timelines have moved up, and Sunday's going to be the clear day. So we still want to do this for the community. We just don't want people standing around in the rain for an hour, or have Santa looking like a wet rat as he rides around on a sleigh. We don't need that either. So we're trying. We'll make a call later today, and we'll let everybody know to the best of our ability. And if people can help notify their friends, that would be great.
All right. And regardless, on either day, it'll still be beginning at 3 o'clock, even if it moves to Sunday.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we'll have to see what the schedule looks
Okay.
like for the city, but I mean, we'll put out what we have to do.
Right. All right. Mayor Paul Coogan, as always, thank you for our conversation. We'll talk again next week. Take care.
All right. Thanks, Keith. Thank you.
All right. And have a great day here on FRC Media. I'm Keith Tebow. Thanks for watching.